So we're just going to talk about a couple of things in your golf swing that's going to affect then later on what you're going to do to this golf club. Okay. So this isn't too bad. The setup here's not too bad. It's probably a bit tilted too much that way.
Yeah.
We only want probably 5 to 7 degrees there, so it's not that much. But what we're going to see is the dance move that you're going to have coming up here. Okay. So as you start to take this back, we'll start to see you move the bottom half laterally.
Yeah.
Now when you do that, essentially you've got from the top of the backswing here, you've got 2/100ths of a second to get from here back down to here, give or take. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
All right. So consistently enough.
Yeah.
Now you generate a reasonable amount of speed. You generate 100 miles an hour speed. So it's not too bad. You know, you're roughly between sort of 95 to 100 miles an hour. So, and you're only getting bigger and stronger. So I'm not going to give you something that's a regular shaft. I'm going to give you something that's a little bit firmer. But with this motion, you're going to have really good days and you're going to have really interesting ones.
Yeah.
And more than likely, you're probably going to have really good days with the drivers and not so good days with the irons. And then the next time, you're going to have a really good day with your irons and not so good with the driver because of the inconsistency with this.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Yeah. Okay. So my job is I don't want you to spend your good hard-earned cash or mum and dad's anyway and not be able to then go and utilise it.
Yeah.
Okay. So from my aspect, I want to try and get those knees doing less.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
The path of the golf club isn't too bad. It's slightly across it here. Ideally, we'd probably like to see the same on the other side, and that should produce a little push draw for you.
Right.
So you push it right at target, and then it'll turn over just to the left of target,
Right.
depending on where the club face is. But essentially, it's not too bad. All right. And as far as rhythm goes, we'll just put some markers in here to give us an understanding of. Oh, you're already back there. That stability in your feet is going to be a big part of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so we don't get to see that first part of the golf swing, unfortunately. But it's pretty quick. Just a little bit more stability would be good. The fact is that you're only using one foot on the ground here at the moment
Yeah.
because this foot's moving around a fair amount. So if that moves around a fair amount, we're not gripping the ground quite as well. We want to try and push a little bit more into both feet.
Alright.
And that'll stop your hips from laterally moving. When you're watching the best players in the world, they don't do that.
Yeah.
Okay, they're really, really stable, and they start to give you some indication. They're using the ground a hell of a lot more. So Stewie here's standing on force plates, so we know what happens and when it happens. Okay. So as he starts to take this back, you watch his hips, they don't slide back. The left knee might come in a little. That's a preference thing. I tend not to like to see my players do that because they're not still pushing on the ground. And this was just before Stewie was playing pretty ordinary, actually.
Alright.
So roughly we know from the best players in the world that they have still at the top of their backswing, they've got roughly about 30 to 40% of pressure still in that lead foot, that left leg. So that's kind of what we're after.
Alright.
Okay. And that's what we'd like to see. Yeah. We go and put anybody else in there. They've got 30 or 40% in there. After they did this, that's when he started to play half decent again.
Alright.
Just between him and his coach, and they did a fair amount of work on trying to keep the pressure in their feet relatively even, for want of a better term.
Yeah.